to get started.
Okay. So good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, join our Practical Electricity info session. My name is Ming Chen. I'm the one who sent you all the email and the text message, and I'm happy to see your face and see your name here. And then today is all about practical electricity. Our department chair, Ms. Tracey Arvin, is here, and I'm going to let her take over.
Excellent. Thank you, Min.
Thank you, Tracey.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm really pleased to see so many people here. We have students. We have perhaps faculty from other institutes where students are potentially thinking about coming to us. We have some of our own staff from Benjamin Franklin. I want to just make sure that you all feel comfortable to ask questions. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I'm also going to share a very brief PowerPoint. I'm not looking to PowerPoint everybody to death, but just to give you kind of an overview of our program. And then I'm going to just open it up and let you guys ask whatever questions that you have on your mind. So as Min said, my name is Tracey Arvin. I'm the department chair of the Electrical Technologies programs. And I'm a licensed electrician, journeyman and master's licenses. I've taught for 25 years in various vocational high schools, and I've been at Benjamin Franklin. This is the end of my 12th year. We have a great program. We have a lot of really solid industry partners that offer our graduates some really good apprentice opportunities at the end of the programs. But for right now, let me share my screen. Like I said, it'll just be a brief PowerPoint just to give you guys an overview. Again, some of you, I'm not sure if you have a little experience, you have a little knowledge about the electrical industry or about becoming an electrician, there'll be just a brief overview there, and then a little bit about our program. So let me share my screen, I hope.
Yes, you should be able to.
If my computer cooperates today, it has a mind of its own sometimes. So hold on one second. Let me just fix something here. Okay. This will be a little bit better view. Okay. So hopefully you can all see my screen. Just the introductory slide. Our program that we're going to discuss today is called Practical Electricity. It is a certificate program, and there are college credits attached to the program and to each of the courses, but the main focus is on the certificate hours. So if any of you are brand new to the trade and you don't understand all that there is about becoming a licensed journeyman electrician in the state of Massachusetts, there's basically 3 requirements. There are 600 hours of classroom instruction that we are required by the Board of Examiners of Electricians to provide. We cover electrical theory in about half of our courses. So we have it set up into 6 different courses. 3 of them focus on electrical theory, electrical machines, and low voltage systems. The other 3 courses are concentrating on the National Electric Code, which includes the Massachusetts amendments. Again, if you're familiar at all with the electrical field. So the 600 hours is what we are focusing on. Outside of our program, the other requirement towards licensure is that each student, each apprentice, work for a total of 8,000 hours under the direct guidance and supervision of a licensed electrician. And so these 8,000 hours are outside the scope of what we offer. We do offer some lab time, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but it's really outside the scope. We are not approved by the board to offer on-the-job training hours. That would come either after you left the program or, you know, nothing says that you can't choose to enter our evening program and work during the day if you can find some employment. So you can start that 8,000 hours anytime and anywhere. Once you complete both of those, the 600 hours and the 8,000 hours, you will then submit an application to the Board of Examiners of Electricians and pay them a fee, of course, and sit for the journeyman's licensing exam. When you pass the exam, you become a full licensed electrician. So these are the overall requirements for every apprentice, but it's just this top line that we are offering at the college. So again, our program, it's basically a 12-month certificate. Depending on when you start, it can really be more technically like an 11-month program. We run 3 semesters. If you start in September, we run in the fall semester, the spring semester, and then next summer that would be our 3rd semester. And it is, again, classroom instruction. That is our primary focus. The board that I keep referring to is called the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Electricians. They govern everything we do. They govern all of our rules, all of our policies. You know, everything basically has to be approved by them, and we are very strictly guided by them. They have approved hands-on laboratory experiments for us, and again, those are really considered an enhancement to the lecture topics. So it's a very finite number of lab hours. Every single course that we offer does have a lab component, but it's in the big picture of things, you know, it's a smaller component, but there is hands-on experience. So the classroom hours, we are current with the 2020 National and Massachusetts Electrical codes. And as far as any of the lab work that we do, and again, all of the code classes, all of the theory classes have labs built into them. And we have 3 labs that I'm going to just show you some pictures of. The first one is the electromechanical lab. This is also one of the classrooms. We try to keep classroom sizes small, even as small as like 12 students. It provides a really good teacher-student ratio. We also don't want to, you know, have it so there's too many people, too many students trying to use any of the lab equipment at the same time. So these machines that you see on the outside of the room here and along the perimeter, these are not any kind of machine that you're going to find in somebody's home or even in a industrial or commercial setting. These are trainers. And so with these trainers, we can enhance the theory side of our program. So when we're studying Ohm's law and we talk about resistance and we talk about circuit characteristics of voltage and amperage and wattage, we can use these machines to set up experiments, to set up circuits, and then investigate those circuits with metering devices that you see on the top, and even an electronic component that really lets us display the circuit characteristics in a really useful and helpful manner. This is called the electromechanical lab because we also have electric machines here. So we have motors and transformers and generators, all of the electric machines that are common and typical to the electrical industry. Again, this is a place for the students to have a hands-on experience to those concepts and those topics that they are learning in the classroom. The next one is the wiring methods lab. And if any of you are from a vocational high school or you've seen or experienced anything in a vocational high school, this is not unlike the shop or the lab setting. For the 3 code classes, these are the labs that you would be utilizing. It would be the wiring methods lab. And we start out with probably the most basic form of wiring methods, and that's that's the method that you find in most residential homes. So that would be non-metallic sheath cable. We start out with very, very simple circuits, maybe just a switch controlling a light, maybe adding a constantly fed duplex receptacle, and we build upon those labs as the student progresses. We also introduce other wiring methods like AC and MC cable and electrical metallic tubing. The students all get an opportunity to install a residential service as a part of their hands-on experience. The last is the Renewable Energy Lab, and here is where we can investigate photovoltaics, which is solar, and some wind applications of the electrical industry, which are two very up and coming aspects of our trade. This is our second of 2 classrooms. These are side by side. This other wiring methods lab is actually right above it, and this is a really large space. So the students have plenty of room. Through a fee that you pay with your tuition, you are provided an excellent starting toolkit, and it's really all you need to do all of these labs, all of these experiences. And it's really basically all you're going to need when you go out and get a job as an apprentice. Okay. So basically, upon completing your program, you have earned your 600 hours. There will be some college credits awarded to you as well. You will not be leaving with a degree, but it is college credits that you could potentially apply to some other degree program if you chose to. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a list of some of the employers, some of our industry partners that hire our students year after year. We have Rivers Electric, Interstate Electric, Napa, Griffin. Some manufacturers come and choose our students or offer opportunities for our students. And then there is just many different other smaller or local or union electrical contractors that also come and seek out our students. So here's just a couple of statistics for you. Some of these are hot off the press. I actually researched this yesterday. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, electrician jobs are expected to grow by 8.4% in between this time period right here, 2019 to 2029. And basically that's double any other industry or any other occupation. Now that's looking at the United States as a whole. I will tell you, in the state of Massachusetts, the opportunities are even greater. There are lots of us gray-haired, aging electricians who are going to be looking to retire sometime in the near future. And there just aren't enough younger people filling in our spots behind us. So the opportunity is even greater than what you see here in Massachusetts. Currently, the average wage for a starting salary for an apprentice is anywhere between $13 and $18 an hour. And I will tell you, the class that we just graduated in September, I had a couple of students that actually got $20 an hour to start. So that's with no prior experience. That's with completing our program, starting out with their 600 hours, getting excellent recommendations from me and the faculty, and those students are earning $20 an hour right out of the gate. And your hourly rate and your yearly increase just skyrockets from there. So some of these statistics, again, pertain to the United States as a whole. Here in Massachusetts, a journeyman electrician is making anywhere from $75,000 a year up into 6 figures. It is not uncommon for a licensed electrician to be making, over $100,000 a year. And again, these new renewable energies that are coming online, wind energy, photovoltaics, which, if you folks drive around your own communities, you're probably seeing solar going up on every rooftop. And there are just an incredible number of opportunities there. So that's it. I promised I wouldn't drag that out too long. That's just kind of what we have in a nutshell. I could keep talking for hours and hours here because I am a teacher. I won't do that. I want to open it up and provide some opportunity for anyone to ask some questions.
Thank
Thanks.
you. We got a couple of good questions from the chat. Ani asked, first is the class schedule. And we have the day program and an evening program. So Tracey, you want to talk about the schedule?
Yeah, so our schedule for either the evening or daytime program is classes run Monday through Thursday. We always have Fridays available to the students to potentially go out and do some work, either working at a job that you currently have or trying to find some kind of employment. If you choose the daytime program, the schedule changes a little bit semester to semester. Currently, I think for September, the daytime classes will run something on the order of 8 o'clock in the morning till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so there are 2 courses that run each semester. One course would be a Monday, Wednesday, again, 8 to 1. The second course would be Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 1. And that would likely continue on through the spring and the summer semesters. Our evening courses run from 4 to 9 p.m. Again, split up the exact same, a Monday, Wednesday course and a Tuesday, Thursday course running for 3 consecutive semesters.
Tracey, can you explain that again? So the students going, I'm a parent, so I'm just trying to figure this out for my son. So students come in on a Monday and a Wednesday, and there's another set of students that come in on Tuesday and Thursday?
So I'm sorry if I was not clear there. Each student in whichever program you choose will actually be going to school Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, 5 hours each day.
Okay.
And so that's a total of 20 hours in a week. And each course, so they would be enrolled in 2 different courses per semester. Each course meets for 10 hours a week.
I see. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ani also asked the difference between our program and the other 600 hour program. I don't think there's other 600 hour program. That 600 coding hours is included in our program. So when you finish the practical electricity, you get 600 coding hours towards your license. So that's one. And he also, I think you're right, the 8,000 working hours, on job hours, yes, it's gonna take about 4 years.
A minimum of 4 years. That is a requirement of the board. It's a, you can't earn any more than 2,000 hours per year. And so there are other 600-hour programs out there that you can attend. Different institutes offer some of the same training, the 600-hour training that we're offering. Not all of them have a lab component like we have. Okay, so we have a hands-on component that's a little different than some of the others that you might choose. We also have over 100-year reputation of offering this education and a really solid industry partnership base. So, you know, there's definitely some advantages to choosing Benjamin Franklin's program.
Hey, this is Arnie. I get a lot of questions in the chat. When I asked about the 600 hours, I thought there was a second program that you had that also included 600 hours of credit towards this Journeyman Electrician's apprentice thing. But that's a more, is that like a degree program as opposed to?
Yes, Arnold, there has been another program that has been offered at the college. it was a degree program. It was called electrical technology, and there was an associate's degree that also was awarded through that program. At this time, the college is not offering that program in September.
The other question I had is, if, let's say I had a doctor appointment on a Monday and I couldn't make the daytime class, could I pop into the nighttime class that day instead to make up that class?
No, we're not approved by the board to sort of have a mix and match, you know, type of opportunity, like an open classroom for students.
No. I mean that you know, I couldn't make the Monday class for electric code on Monday the 15th.
Right.
So if it's offered, you know, you do have that same class in the evening on Monday the 15th.
Well, in theory, we have the same course running, but there's different instructors teaching it, and they could be at a different place in the curriculum.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. It's good that it's only 8 to 1, because that gives me the afternoon to actually schedule appointments and stuff. So
yes, I mean, so one caveat to that is sometimes through our registrar and our scheduling process, sometimes those hours, you know, can shift slightly. Right now, the daytime program in the summer is running 10 to 3 instead of 8 to 1. So it's possible that those hours could shift a bit. So just be mindful of that.
And are the classes going to be, is it going to be a hybrid program where we're taking it virtual, or is it going to be in classroom settings for the September?
So I think everybody is still trying to figure out what the heck is going on moving forward between the CDC and the governor and the mayor and the president and the deans of the colleges. So currently, the most current information we have is we are running in a hybrid model. So we are doing our classroom lectures via Zoom, but we are meeting in person for our lab experiences. And so until somebody tells us different, that is the model that we have moving forward.
Is the lab experience going to be part of the 10 hours each week?
Yes.
And how many hours is the lab experience part of it?
Our approved number of hours per course is 2. So that's 2 hours per week, 8 hours of lecture and 2 hours of lab for each course.
Will you have to take the COVID vaccine in order to like step foot on campus?
That's a great question. And again, I think that our whole administration is trying to figure things out right now. Currently, we are still operating under the guidelines of social distancing, requiring masks, washing hands, cleaning the facility very, very well between classes. To my knowledge, there has.
I could jump in. I could jump in, Tracy.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't. The college hasn't. We don't plan on making students take the vaccine as of yet. There hasn't been any official notice for us to have it as a requirement for the students to get vaccinated. So we're just making sure that they're up to date with all of their immunization shots, which is traditional for all colleges, but we're not requiring students to be vaccinated. I know that all of the state schools have, outside of UMass Dartmouth, have already announced that they needed all of their students to be vaccinated, as well as I think Northeastern and Boston College, but we're not requiring that of our students right now.
Tal has another question about our hybrid model. He's asking whether we do 2 days in class and 2 days at home. He is currently in our HVAC program. He will come back and join us for practical electricity in the fall.
Okay, so currently the way we are handling the number of lecture hours versus the number of lab hours, to satisfy our agreement with our board of the 8 and 2, what we're doing is running 1 solid week of all virtual online lecture classes, and then The following week, we are going in to campus for a full 5 hours, and that is mostly lab. So it's 3 days virtual, 1 day in person, and so that's split up over a 2-week time period, and it basically evens out to the proper number of lecture versus lab hours.
Thank you. And Jeff, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you.
Good morning again. My question is how the schedule will be, please.
Oh,
How will the schedule be?
Yes. Like if they have morning only or evening too.
We have both. So we will be offering both in September. You can choose to come during the daytime, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., or in the evening, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay. That's good.
Excellent.
Tiffany?
Hi again. So I know, Tracy, you talked about the electrical engineering program that they're not offering in September. Is it something that's going to come back? And what's the difference between the two? And is it something that after the certificate program, my son could enter into that later? Or is it necessary? Is it even necessary?
So a lot of really good questions, Tiffany.
Sorry.
No, those are really great questions. So let me start by saying the electrical industry and the electrical programs at Benjamin Franklin, for those who are not savvy to the electrical industry, can be really confusing. Like, what is electricians versus electrical engineering versus electronics? We have all these different programs at the college. Okay. So my programs, and I'll include the one that we're not running in September, are solely focused on students becoming an electrician, an installer of electrical circuits, basically.
Okay.
Now, the college offers electrical engineering. If that is a path that you would choose, somebody would choose to go, that is not our path. Okay. To have an associate's degree as an electrician is not a requirement. I don't know that it ever will be a requirement. I cannot say whether or not the college will ever bring it back as an associate's degree, but it is not necessary. So,
okay, is that the electrical engineering program? No, that's something else. Okay.
So the name of the program I'm referring to was called Electrical Technology.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a way to complete your hour requirements faster?
The educational hours?
Just hours and like any type of hours, whether it's in person or.
No, there isn't.
All right.
That's all. This is the program that I've laid out to you is what the Board of Examiners has approved for us. 12 months is the minimum time frame.
Thank you.
Good question. Are we going to be learning about like boards, like the electric boards and stuff like that?
Electric boards?
Yes.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Are you talking about electronic boards?
Yeah, the electronic boards that, connect to like the thermostat and all that stuff like that.
We don't do any electronics. We are, one way to think about what electricians do is we install power distribution. So we don't do anything on electronic circuitry. We do.
Tracy, I think he's talking about wiring. Like, I only because we did HVAC together. That he might be talking about like you know how we do the wiring diagram and you learn like you learn the basic wiring to connect from the device to the thermostat and stuff. I think he's talking about, are you going to learn like the actual breakdown of the wiring? that connects them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, we do wiring diagrams and circuitry, and you know, electricians do some control wiring that's associated with HVAC systems and some other systems, but we typically don't work inside the machines. We are typically installing the wires that, for lack of better terms, are on the outside of machines. So we do power distribution, if you will.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you. And
Right.
Samir?
Hi, I was wondering, when we come in person, is there parking on campus?
There is not any parking on campus, so you would have to use one of the paid lots within walking distance of the campus, or parking on the street, or we encourage students to try to utilize public transportation when possible.
Okay.
Is the campus still on Berkeley Street?
Yes.
The other question is, so the first semester looks like it's electrical code 1 and circuit theory. Is electrical code 1 taught on the same day in the morning and the evening? And the reason I ask that is, for instance, is it possible to take the electrical code 1 program during the day and the circuit theory 1 during the evening, because it's different days of the week, if a job sort of is there in the way?
That is not something that we have ever done before. It's
Okay.
not something that we're necessarily approved for.
Okay.
Our students enter a cohort, and they really kind of stay together as a cohort
Got it.
and move through. So that's not something that we have ever entertained before.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tiffany?
I just wanted to know, are we going to talk about tuition on this call, or is that a whole separate animal?
That's
We'll
not,
be sending-
that's not on my end. Maybe
Okay.
Calvin can talk about that.
We'll be sending out follow-up information for our next session. We're having a financial aid session that'll be talking about financial aid and how to read your award letter and so forth. We'll be sending follow-up information to everyone that attended this session.
Okay, because my son, this is brand new. He graduates from high school in like 2 weeks. So am I late to the game, or am I on time?
We'll work with you.
Okay,
You're never too late.
Okay.
You're never too late, as long as you get the ball rolling.
Okay, all right.
We can work with you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Definitely.
Tiffany also asked a good question earlier. Student needs to accumulate that 8,000 hours, and she asked whether student can start working while they are in the program.
They absolutely can. I will say each student is in class 20 hours a week. So that's a pretty good chunk of time. There is also work that we require students to do outside of class. And that takes up a pretty good chunk of time. I would definitely recommend that if a student can just focus on their education for 12 months, that is probably the best way to go. But you know what? Life happens, and we understand that people either want to work or need to work. And so you can start the 8,000 hours anytime. But I think my own personal experience is students get a lot more out of the program when they can really devote their time to their education for a solid 12 months.
Thanks, Tracy. Thank you,
You're
ma'am.
welcome. My pleasure.
Jerica asked whether there's an internship as part of the program.
Not as part of the program, no, but we do have some industry partners that have come to us, come to other, especially the construction trades within the college, and have offered some opportunities. It's nothing that the college itself is formally offering, but there are times when employers like Gillette down the street from the college has come to us, and they're looking for a couple of students this summer. So a couple of our students will be entering an internship this summer, but it's nothing that we are formally offering as an institute. But whenever those opportunities arise, we certainly try to, you know, hook up our students to those opportunities.
Any other questions?
Do you guys like have direct plans for what's it called? Apprenticeship jobs or no?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Direct plan?
Like, do you guys have any ways to just get right into an apprentice job right after finishing your schooling and all your hours and getting your certificate? Or
So
you would
no,
have to set that up yourself?
well, so we have a career services department program within the college, and they are in constant contact with employers for all of our programs. And employers come to some of the department chairs specifically. So there are opportunities. Those employers come to us knowing that we're going to be graduating people in May or graduating folks in August. And so they come to us and they're looking for applicants. And so we hook you up in that regard. There are career fairs where employers will come to us and the students have an opportunity to meet with multiple employers. Okay, we don't, again, it's just like the internship. We don't have anything specifically set up like a special pathway, but there are lots of opportunities every year for our students to get employment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So one other thing that I'm going to add right here, and I'm going to be a big old wet blanket. I'm going to be a Debbie Downer. I am going to tell you a couple of things. First of all, becoming an electrician, if you do some research, again, I was doing some research for some numbers yesterday, and they were talking about the different trades, and is it better to be a plumber? Is it better to be an electrician? Who makes more money? Blah, 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 right? Well, I'm here to tell you that there's a big learning curve to be an electrician, okay? It is not for the faint of heart. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but I'm trying to just give you an honest heads up that this is challenging stuff. There's a reason why we are one of the highest, if not the highest paid trade out there. It's because it's challenging, okay? If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and we'd be making 12 bucks an hour, okay? So it's a challenging field. The second thing that I'm gonna just drive home for you students that are sitting there, attendance is the #1 issue with students not succeeding in this program. Attendance, attendance, attendance. It's required by our board. It's written within our agreement with the board. Students are encouraged to miss no hours, but yes, of course, life happens. And there is a very small number of hours that you can miss and still succeed. Again, that's not governed by me. It's not governed by Benjamin Franklin. It's governed by our industry and the board that oversees us, okay? I have just given recommendations for several of my graduating students. Employers have called me up within the last couple of weeks wanting to know how Jimmy or Johnny or Sally is. And you know what the very first question they ask me? Hands down, they say, #1, are they on time and are they there every day? That's the #1 question. Not, do they know Ohm's law? Can they bend a piece of pipe? Do they know what a generator or a motor is? They don't ask me those questions. They ask me, is the person dependable? Do they show up? Do they come prepared? Do they do their work? So I welcome everyone, anyone and everyone who's interested. We can help you get there, but you got to show up, okay? And you got to be prepared to work. So that's the downer side. I apologize. I had to save it till the end.
Tracey, could you also talk about our job placement rate?
So I'm sure the college has their official job placement rates. I will tell you this, as far as I know with my students, every single person that graduates who wants a job in the industry has found one this past semester. Okay, now again, I don't know what the official placement rates are. Some of those placement rates are because maybe a student didn't go straight into industry. Maybe they wanted to do another program first. Like I think there's a gentleman here that's doing a second program at the college. Yeah, so that's not out of the question that individuals choose to do something else. Okay, but I will tell you from a personal perspective, every one of my students who have wanted employment have found it. That this is a great time out in our industry right now for construction in general, but especially for electricians. They can't get enough help. Okay, they can't get enough licensed people. This is a fantastic time to go into this industry in Massachusetts in particular, but across the country, really.
Tracey, this is Arnie again. So I'm going to be 67 this summer when I'm starting the program. I've done a lot of, different things around my house and also helping friends, try to do things as safely and as quote up to code as when I do my research as possible. At my age, am I likely not to get an apprentice job when I finish, or is it okay?
So Arnie,
that I could get one now? Am I aged out?
Well, no, I don't think so. I'm not too far behind you. I'm a couple years behind you. But I feel pretty certain if I wanted to go out and get a job as an electrician tomorrow, I could probably have my choice. Okay. I think some of the more reputable employers are going to look at a lot more than just age. So, your work history, your willingness to show up and be on time and be prepared and willingness to learn, I think says a lot more about you than your age. So I think that I don't think you're too old.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else, anyone? Min, are there some other chat questions that we've missed?
I think we answered them all. And Lord Anthony, did we also answer your question? I know you're curious how many students start their own business, right?
Yeah, she pretty much answered all of the questions that I have, covered pretty much everything else that as far as the questions that I didn't ask. So it's been good. Thank you for all the information. I'm pretty much convinced that I'm going to come to the school anyways. I just wanted to attend the Zoom. So.
Very good. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
Any other questions we have regarding the practical electricity program? Again, for those that have financial aid questions, we will be sending out a link to our financial aid session that'll be happening next month.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Yes, Steve.
Oh, sorry. This is Stephen Turner. So when you finish the 12-month course, you get a college certificate.
So yes, upon graduation, you do get a piece of paper that says it's a certificate and you have successfully completed practical electricity. More importantly, though, you get the opportunity to get a form filled out. It's a state of Massachusetts government form that our registrar has copies of those forms, and it's required by the Board of Examiners as proof that you fulfilled your 600 hours. So yes, you get a nice little certificate and you can put that on your wall, and I strongly encourage you to do that. Be proud of yourself. But more importantly, it's that piece of paper that you get from the registrar that proves you did the 600 hours that allows you to sit for your journeyman's licensing exam.
Okay, but for the journeyman's license, you said that's another what, 800 hours, 8,000?
8,000.
Okay, but the certificate that we get from you guys, I can just bring that to apprentice job, right? I apply with that and show them.
Yes.
I did the 600 hours, and then hopefully I get hired, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. But that 600, the certificate that you guys give me, that gives me like a better chance to get the apprentice job.
It absolutely does. In my opinion, and in talking with the employers that we partner with, you know, somebody just walking in off the street that has absolutely no knowledge, no experience, would they get a job as an apprentice? In today's model, I'm telling you, they probably would. If you are breathing and you have a pulse, they probably would give you a shot. However, somebody with the full 12-month program from Benjamin Franklin, you have a much greater opportunity to find really good employment with that in hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Thank you guys so much.
My pleasure. Thank you all for attending today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep, we will send a follow-up.
Thank you so much. That's one of my goals. Since I was 10 years old, I say I should be an electrician. Now I'm gonna be 25.
Okay.
I started doing something like I'm from in Haiti. I started doing some stuff, but you know, I didn't go to school for it. But now I say I won't get this.
Well, Jeff, we are here to help you fulfill that dream and that goal. If you so choose, we would be happy to help you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I want to say hi to Jeff. I'm Haitian too. So hi, Jeff.
Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Jenny. I'm from admission.
Okay.
I just had one quick question. Do we know the start date for school in September?
September 7th.
September 7th. Okay. I'll write that down. I'll be looking forward to that. Thank you.
We've already started registering students for the fall, so complete your admissions and financial aid till we get you registered.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, well, thank you all again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tracey.
Feel free to reach out to me. You know, my email is on the website. Feel free to reach out and ask me any additional questions too if you have any.